England will need to plan this chase because they are fresh off the back of bungling a 233-run chase. They're looking at this now. What happens, Robbie, for a batsman or for a batting unit? What happens after you have a loss like that? Something that should have been in the bag. Sometimes not getting a smaller target can affect you more than not getting a big target, right? Because you
feel stupid.
Yeah.
Like you feel really lame.
Just silly, yeah.
You feel silly, and you're like, oh man, what was that all about?
Yeah.
But you also want to correct that immediately, right? So you fall back to what works for you, and sometimes these things can actually make you focus on the processes even more.
Yeah.
Of building partnerships, rotating the strike, making sure you don't lose wickets in clumps. These are things that you focus on. You focus on every time a wicket falls, you add another 20 runs so that there's a partnership that's built. So there's no pressure that doubles up on your team. So those are the factors you kind of focus on. Then, and individually you focus on, okay, these are my bowlers that I need to respect. These are the bowlers that cause trouble to me. So I'll see them off. But these are the bowlers that I can get runs to. So I'll probably take advantage of that. So they go back to focusing on those aspects. They understand that something silly has happened in the previous game. You understand that as an individual, as a sports person, you understand that, but then you say, okay, let's move on and let me do the things that I need to do right.
Yeah, there's something about the England batting where we were talking about the Australia batting, right? Of how Finch and Warner decided we're going to play out the 10 overs. It was tough, and a few times they got opened up and got a few edges in here and there, but they played it out. With England, there's always this problem. It's not high gear or low gear. With England, it seems like of late, it's high gear or tentative.
Yeah, right? I think they go from either high gear or which gear.
Yeah, that's right. They just seem tentative. They just don't know. Like
which way to go.
What do I do?
Yeah, so I think there's a lack of clarity there. But I think given their personnel, they've been so used to attacking at the top, and the fact that that's not working and in this kind of a tournament is putting them under pressure.
Today is one of those kind of days where you can lose wickets in cluster.
Yep.
It's not easy for a new batsman to come in and start going from word go. So you have to give him that much time. So if you are in, you have to take more responsibility and make sure that you stretch that innings.
Yeah.
Because there is enough help for the bowlers. So in these kind of conditions, you often see that that whatever the score is and whatever the wicket losses are, you can add 2 wickets to that tally pretty much at any stage.
Yeah.
At any stage, any bowler can come up with those kind of spells where he gets 2 or 3 wickets in succession, and that puts real pressure on the batting side. So it might look like you are having a very easy chase, and suddenly there are 2-3 wickets down. That's what happened with Australian innings, right?
True.
So that is something which needs to be discussed in that batting group, to have that kind of plan, to have that kind of clarity going in this chase, rather than thinking, okay, what kind of gear you should be playing in.
Yeah.
Because pretty much it's decided by the surface. And they've seen it while they were in the field. So it's important that you start well. You negate that first phase of the hard new ball coming at you. Always exaggerated movement there.
We say a long batting unit, right? But it's not like you've got much fireworks from the tail in this tournament. You really haven't.
Well, you've seen that in patches. You've seen Moeen Ali initially. We did a detailed discussion about how Moeen Ali isn't coming off. Then he came in that game, scored 31 of 9 balls.
Yeah.
So he came off, and then that he's back to hitting it well again. Chris Wokes came up the order the other day and scored close to a 50 and batted well. So he's batting well. Ben Stokes has come off a 90 in the first game, so he's batting well. And he got in the previous game, he got another 85. So he's batting well.
So they need them all to come together.
Yeah, it has to just
That's
work.
the thing. Yeah.
Joss Butler's got 100 down the order, but they haven't won that game. So everybody is batting well. It's about them coming together as a team, as a batting unit. And that's what they need. So they can agree to the fact that the openers haven't come off as well as they would have under normal circumstances, but that doesn't mean that the others shouldn't come off or aren't coming off. And the others in that batting order should take responsibility and say, okay, if I can play to my potential today, I take my team through.
Let me tell you about chases and what has happened and why we're bringing this up. Against Pakistan, when they were chasing, they lost, I think it was about 74 for 4. Towards the end.
Yeah.
And then against Sri Lanka, it was, I think, 68 for 5.
Yeah.
Right, they lost 5 wickets in that match. So they've got to avoid that. And the best way to avoid it is don't let those guys come into bat. Joe Root, just stay there.
So the success,
right?
you see the successful run chases of these teams, of this team, this English team. You know that when they've successfully chased a score, they haven't lost too many wickets
Yeah.
on the go. Like at least those back-to-back wickets within those spaces of 10-15 runs haven't happened. So when that doesn't happen, or when there's a partnership that's stitched, even a 30-run partnership in a one-day game, then more often than not, you know, they're going to end up batting well. And that's the key for them, not to lose back-to-back wickets in a space of 10 runs or 15 runs.
Yeah, but Joe Root is a big key. But is that safe to say, Zach, कि Joe Root गया तो England टूट गया? Yeah. Yes. Joe Root.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's very important that someone plays that innings,
Yeah.
and you're banking on Joe Root for various reasons. You know, he's someone who has had impact on Test match cricket as well.
Yeah.
You know, has got a solid technique. So you need solid technique on this kind of track. You won't see those drives which you play on the up.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
Johnny Bairstow, if it's on the shorter side, he's comfortable. You know, you can play those horizontal bat shots. But when it's pitched up, and you've seen it with Chris Wokes getting that ball right up there, can nick you off. So that those are the kind of areas which Australians should be focusing on. And as a batsman, as English batsman, you have to be very precise in terms of picking up that length. If it's too full, you can definitely take advantage of that. But that in-between length which we talk about, if Australians hit that length, I think the technique of the likes of On Morgan or Butler or Johnny Bairstow for that matter, guys who like to play on the up, it looks great on a flat track or a true bounce track. But here it's going to be a touch difficult to play those kind of shots.
Yeah.
So as a batsman, it's very important how you pick the length. That is going to determine how good you are playing on the surface.